What's going on, people? It's your boy. It's Brass Tacks, baby. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a unique review. I don't think I've ever done one of these before. I've done a slightly drunk review, never done a slightly high review. Been in the studio for an inordinate amount of time. We're talking like maybe 34 hours non-stop. Yeah? Just drinks, Red Bull, and music. And to top it all off, finish that all off, have a bit of weed in this bitch. So your boy's a little lean, a little high, if you get what I'm saying. So this could be the worst, or best, or most entertaining review ever. Don't know how it's gonna go, people, but we're gonna talk. To new visitors, welcome. To people who already watch me and have been down from me from day one, how you guys doing? It's getting crazy. Listen. Interesting fact, was watching my analytics on YouTube. Did you know that fucking 53% of people watch my shit but don't subscribe to my shit? So if you do watch my stuff, how about you subscribe? There's good content here. It's crazy content. It's not like the other reviewers, but chances are you already know. But if you don't, it's gonna get scary. Alright guys, Dr. Sleep. Damn, good movie. Really good movie. I'm not gonna overly talk about it. Firstly, because I can't. But yeah, good movie. You'll appreciate a lot more. It's a good movie in itself. It is a sequel to The Shining, which is a great classic in this bitch. I recommend watching The Shining again before you see this, because there are some references to the previous movie which you would appreciate more with the older movie fresh in your mind. Very unsettling, lots of tension. Not really as jumpy as The Shining, but it's very good. And what I love about this movie, you've got one perspective in the first movie, but now it's been flipped. It's like you're seeing things from the other side, from the dark side. So I recommend you watch it. I think it's really good. That's all I'm really going to say about that. This movie is like a 160 minutes long ass movie. You know it's a long movie, but you don't really feel it, because there's a lot going on and a lot of interesting shit going on. Guess what? There's a director's cut. Director's cut is 3 hours, 8 minutes longer than this. And it is slightly better in the sense that it adds a bit more character to it. There's already character, but it adds a few more scenes which help the movie. Here's my problem. Director's cut is not on physical media. It's not on the 4K Blu-ray disc. It is on the 1080p Blu-ray. And from what I hear, not that I've checked, it's on the 4K digital. This just tells you where they're going, right? Everyone's going towards 4K digital. Another 5-6 years, it's going to be all digital everything. But I hate the fact that we don't get the 4K director's cut on the 4K disc. I think that's ridiculous. People are paying a premium for physical, should get the 4K, and for that, it's fucked up. You know what that shit feels like? It feels like you're at work and your girl at home waiting for you, and she's sending you naughty text messages all day. Sends you a couple of pictures, gets you excited, gets you ready. You can't wait to go home. You get home and guess what? Time of the month starts. You ain't Moses. You ain't parting the Red Sea. You gotta wait a few days. That's what it feels like. It's a disappointment. It's a disappointment all around. That's what I'm saying. If we've got two versions of something, we should have two versions on the physical. That's what I'm saying. But other than that, good movie. You're not really gonna go wrong either way. I mean, you're missing 8 minutes. 8 minutes isn't much. But when you know there's a director's cut, it's gonna hurt. It's not like Midsummer or Midsommar or whatever the fuck it was, because the director's cut of that movie was superior, vastly superior. It's not like that here, but it does add to the movie. So what can you do, people? But let's just get on to the tech specs in this bitch. You got a full screen shot in 6.5K. It's a 100 gig disc. That's tasty. 4K digital intermediate, Dolby Atmos sound, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, Dolby Vision, baby. Firstly, I love the fact that it's full screen. I got a 75-inch TV. I want a movie to take up the whole real estate. I don't like the black bars. I know a lot of people do because they feel it gives it more of a filmic vibe. No, I need the full screen of this bitch. I want to see everything. And the good thing is, this movie looks gorgeous. Tasty, nasty, but in a good way. It's a relatively clean image, so grain haters, You don't need to run away. You can enjoy this in its full screen, clean glory. For the most part, Ewan McGregor looks like what my Jamaican friend likes to call mush hot for the whole way through this movie. Pretty much. And you can see it in the clarity, in the 4Kism of this transfer. Individual hair on his beard. Yeah, little bits of fluff from his t-shirt, from his ridiculous dirty green shirt that he's wearing right now. I'm looking at the scene right now, looks nasty. It's a very gritty looking, they're very gritty looking sets. I nearly said gritty looking sex. No, sets, set pieces. Very gritty looking, very dirty, looks very used, clothes look very worn. And you just really notice that a lot more on the 4K. On the 1080p, it looks good too, but it really picks up a lot of stuff. You know, you got some drugs. You see some drugs. You see some pills in this movie. You see the grains. You see everything a lot more in 4K. Textures on leather seating. I love leather seating. Coats, everything is a standout. Up close, you're seeing all the imperfections that you would do in 4K. Pause. Seeing all of this shit in 4K. It looks great. There's a great sense of depth in this also. It's got a nice 3-dimensional pop. Looks sharp. Great distance between characters. And a great sense of space and scope throughout. You're not gonna go wrong here. It looks great. Got a very nice, subtle 3D-ish vibe to it. There's a lot of scenes that take place in the woods, and you're seeing the trees. You're overlooking the trees, and you can really. It really does feel like sometimes you're looking through a window. Looks very nice indeed. Black levels are great. Shadow detail are great. Everything you would expect from a 4K transfer. Did I say it was full screen? I like that it's full screen, you know. But hey. You want to know what the HDR is like? This analogy is not going to have Margot Robbie in it, because I think I talk about Margot Robbie too much, because I think, well, you already know. You're out in the cabin by the woods, chilling out, just getting away from your day-to-day life. You're chilling out, relaxing. It's a bit spooky, it's a bit of a spooky atmosphere, but you kind of like that. What you don't realize is that you've got a stalker ghost. A ghost that is a stalker, who just happens to be Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca Ferguson's A1. Miss Mission Impossible herself. Miss Dr. Sleep herself. And she's a ghost in this bitch. But obviously, she's taken a liking to you. She thinks you're A1. She sees you chop in the woods in the daytime. And she's licking her lips in the distance, just watching you. So she waits for you to go to sleep. And then she comes to you in ghost form and seduces you every evening. She takes advantage of you people. Fellas, she takes advantage of you. She makes love to you every night. This is like the Entity, but the good version. That's what the HDR is like. There is a great depth to colors here that the 1080p just can't touch. A lot of illuminated lighting, a lot of ambient lighting in this movie. A lot of the lighting here plays a big part. It sets the tone in the movie. And with HDR, it just takes it up another notch. Where it really shines is in dark scenes. You got people huddled up, you've got trucks coming towards them, and the bright lights of the trucks are almost blinding in this bitch. You're gonna need shades for some part of this movie. You got a wider color palette overall. You're seeing little nuances in the colors in terms of the outfits some of the characters wear, skin tones, leaves on the trees. Everything looks far more pronounced. Color mix with 4K resolution adds more color depth, adds more clarity overall. And that's what it does here. HDR is a winner. Great blacks, great whites, and a great sense of lighting. Now, are the colors and everything gonna blow you away? Are they blinding overall? No, because it's not that tone of movie. But what it does do, it handles very well. And HDR 10 Plus brings it up another notch. A bit more vibrancy in some of the colors. Some of the leaves of the trees look a little bit more greener. Sometimes the sky looks a little bluer. But the HDR 10 Plus and Dolby Vision are identical. I couldn't notice any difference whatsoever, but HDR 10 Plus and Dolby Vision are a slight step up from the normal, traditional HDR. You're not really missing out. HDR is doing its thing there, and it's very, very noticeable. Now, if the unsettling vibe of this movie hasn't got your girl next to you, grabbing onto you for dear life, you tell your girl to sit on the woofer and see what happens. You know what's gonna happen? This is the first time the coochie could get spooked. And that's a great thing, because what this movie does have is atmosphere. It's all about the subtleties in this Dolby Atmos track. You got things you're hearing from the distance, from your left and right channels, behind you, above you, and it's like the sound of this track has been totally expanded. You're hearing shit in your own room. I was watching this and I'm thinking, shit, I heard something. I don't know whether it was the movie or it was something downstairs in this bitch. There are a few overheads, but nothing major. This is all about what's going on around you as opposed to what's going on above you. Voice is very clear and very pronounced, and the bass is heavy when it needs to be. Like I said, this movie, more than not quite scary, but very unsettling and very tense. And the music and the effects emphasize that. What that's doing to the Kuche is it's confusing it. And when it hits, it hits. Sometimes it's good for the Kuche and the Brute to let the tension build. And when it bends, it reaches a crescendo. And when it reaches a crescendo, she's ready. When she's ready, you're ready. That's all I gotta say about that. And there we have it, people. It's a good movie, recommend it. If you love The Shining, chances are you'll love this. This disc for me gets the brass tack seal of approval, baby. Oh yeah, it looks very nice. And there you have it. I'm gonna leave some Amazon links. Go pick that stuff up. Costs you nothing to use the links, but Amazon kick a little something back for your boy. Enjoy it. It's definitely one to pick up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, by the way. Brass tacks, 4K Rockstar. You already know.